We are live. This is the nighttime market update. Nasdaq. Are the boys having a little bit of trouble in Nasdaq? Oh, I think so. By the way, if you're hearing me on this stream, hit a 1 in the chat. Eagle King not here tonight. Now, Nasdaq. It looks like we have a problem in AI. What does that mean for crypto? Don't go anywhere. Also, on the technical analysis front, I saw something today that was so powerful, so mind-blowing, I had to take a 3-hour nap when my little tutorial session was over. Basically, I just saw something that can help transform a guy like me into one of my heroes, Trader XO, right? The guy who can do setups is the YouTube word. Setups, trading, in other words. We'll be looking at this tonight to discuss like the big picture. It's called Alpha Intelligence. The link is in the link section and in the actual description. Wait until I get into Patreon with these like trading ideas, and wait till I get into Patreon with the explanatory videos about this thing. Believe me, you're not going to want to go anywhere. Now, back to Nasdaq. It seems that the image of AI is invincible has experienced some trouble because, I don't know, Google has a delay in its model. I don't know, because somebody's $50 million paycheck maybe didn't clear, or I don't know. Somebody called in sick. Maybe one of the $50 million guys. I mean, that's meta, but, you know. Somebody who made $50 million, I don't know, maybe he had a rough night partying and they couldn't get the model done. This caused some consternation in Nasdaq, which is still going on. Semiconductors are liquidating everybody. 1 in 30 people in Korea got liquidated. This is just the warm-up. We'll go over it. 1 in 30. Can we liquidate an entire country? Oh, my God. The entire country may be a Kospi casino. We'll go over this in Asia time. We'll discuss AI, and whether or not everyone has done the wrong trade. Of course, they've done the wrong trade. Of course, they have. But we will explain how, you know, AI can be a wonderful thing, but they can price in 20 years of good stuff. And the stocks are not a good investment going forward, but maybe crypto is. In other words, this whole notion from the YouTube member area. Well, oops, I get in trouble for giving away stuff from the YouTube member area. So we definitely want to check that out because we have everybody's favorite show, Disaster Corn, where we discuss the oil issue and the conflict overseas, which could add a little bit of complication to Nasdaq. We could have a little flush. And also going over this, the oil thing in Patreon, how if oil doesn't go up or if oil spikes and then goes lower, how it could actually benefit crypto. In other words, does this Nasdaq mess eventually benefit crypto after this thing falls through what I'm calling a trapdoor, right? The trapdoor falls out and everybody goes tumbling down. What comes back first? Well, we're going to look at Zcash, we're going to look at Bitcoin, and we're going to look at ETH in detail using this Alpha Intelligence thing. Forget about it. Seriously, forget about it. You're going to need a 3-hour nap, or you're going to bed early, or you're going to bed after the stream. But please, for God's sakes, stay on the stream. Now, it seems, like I said, the boys are having a little bit of trouble in Nasdaq. And let's go over why. Let's go over, you know, TikTok's going to have to bear with me on this. So we're on my Twitter. Here I am talking to you. And we have, let me see if I can do something with this. Yeah, okay. Maybe we could do it this way. Okay, so footage of coalition Patriot sand batteries fighting off ballistic missiles in countries that really are not involved in this. It's kind of like spreading out a little bit. makes for perhaps a dramatic spike in crude oil. Who knows? That would be bad, like really bad. You'll see why. Okay, so 1 in 30 Koreans are getting margin called. 1 in 30. And of course, my reaction to that on Twitter is it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's all good. Right? And not only that, but these people are getting liquidated. And when they're liquidated, they're not getting liquidated in profit. They're getting liquidated and they owe the broker money. So yeah, AI, everyone's getting rich. Everyone's phantasmagoric. No, wrong. These people all FOMO'd in at the top, levered. So are we going to flush them all out in one day? I don't think so. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 days. Maybe it's not the end of the world, but maybe we have to do a little checky check, like snap the rubber glove on and give everybody a little check. Extreme greed. Truth Social to sell faster access to the Orange Man's post for traders and investors. Oh my God. Is that not like the meme coin, right? Just the Orange Man just selling services over the top of everybody. It's like, oh, they want this? Oh, okay. Everybody in Korea is levered long. 1 in 30 people in Korea want to get levered long. Oh, well, we gotta turn on the Trump hedge fund subscription service. I mean, there's more. This is like a collection. This is the special edition. And again, when I bring up the alpha intelligence after this, you'll understand. Trust me. Okay, well, SpaceX closed below its IPO price. Internal sellers, maybe? Welcome to the dumpathon. It's called the dump on retail. It's, don't let them on you. Open your mouth. So this represents that broker dealers could not defend the IPO price. They could not defend it. And SpaceX couldn't defend it either. I mean, normally if you do the SpaceX IPO, it is embarrassing to have SpaceX go below the IPO price. You couldn't defend it. SpaceX couldn't defend it. Of course, SpaceX couldn't defend it. They're the ones selling over the top of you or of them, not you. You are not doing this. You're doing crypto, right? Your bags are already down. I know, but you're not stepping up to be the Nasdaq, toilet with your face. You're not doing that. Hopefully. Okay. US debt now exceeds 100% of GDP for the first time since World War II. Hashtag Bitcoin. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's right. Like, let's buy the wrong AI trade, levered, get liquidated, and ignore Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going to 50K. Sure it is. Wait, again, just wait. Okay, by the way, hedge funds or wedge funds have bought semis along with retail. So now the institutions who were late and didn't want to buy it were forced to buy it because retail rammed it higher and they had to chase it. Okay. Now the good news is that semis and Nasdaq, and they're fairly well supported here. But if you pull the trapdoor out, you could have a very exciting 24 hours and a very profitable dip buying opportunity potentially in Bitcoin and Zcash. Because the AI trade, whether anyone likes it or not, is shifting. Like the perception with the Google news has changed. In equities, it doesn't matter until it does. You don't have a wedgie until you do. Yeah, well, they have a wedgie now. So the gangster top. Okay, so we have a diamond in Nasdaq. It broke out. It retested the line. Okay, and then we have Dana White going, yeah, the head lizard is a gangster. He's hired 10 kids from the ages of 22 to 28 for $65 million each on average. Oh, it's fine. There's no extreme greed here. You can subscribe to the Orange Man's stock trading front-running grift service. They're paying $60 million for kids. Good for them. Oh, and Google can't get the model out. Oh, and what energy source are they going to plug all these chips into? Is there really a shortage of compute? I don't know. Maybe not. Semiconductors, SOX, bye-bye, right? Everybody up here is trapped. Everybody. Now, the good news is there is support in semis. We'll go through that. But, if there isn't, Nasdaq's going down 10%. Hopefully, that doesn't impact Bitcoin. But I'm telling you right now, this that you're looking at, this is the wrong trade. The wrong trade. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. The bond guys, who are the smartest people in the room, and that's true, right? The hyperscaler interest rate that they're charging these guys to borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow, that's going parabolic. The bond market's like, you know what, boys, we don't want any more of this debt. Thank you. This was fun, but no mas. Done. Have fun with this. You borrowing money from us to pay kids $65 million each? Oh, okay. Well, the next time you come in, you're going to pay a much higher price, which is a nice way of saying, we don't want it. No, done, out, right? You can't defend the floor in SpaceX IPO and you want to borrow more money from us? Oh, okay. Good luck. Good luck. Meanwhile, JP Morgan, Goldman, BlackRock, and everybody wants to do trial in tokenizing stocks. Yeah, for many reasons, but one, so they can dump more on you. They can dump this sludge on you. Okay, great. Terrific. Okay, crypto is a much better answer. Cryptocurrencies are a much better answer. Cryptocurrencies are a much better buy on the dip because, okay, Nasdaq might be all right. Semiconductors, people will buy the dip, probably. But what about S&P? What about these assumptions that AI makes everything better and AI is super duper, just like the internet, right? In other words, maybe the problem isn't Nasdaq. Maybe the problem is, wait a minute, when you look at stonks in general, like what exactly have we priced in the overall stock market? Everyone's like, oh, Nasdaq, oh, semis. Okay, I just did it. All right, fine. But if that stuff falls through a trapdoor, do we have to start looking at assumptions like, why is everyone buying S&P and dumping Bitcoin? Why is everybody why is everybody like, oh, Bitcoin's 4-year cycle, it's going to 40K. Okay, well, if Nasdaq goes down 20%, okay, fine. But, Bitcoin has a chance here, or crypto has a chance to prove it's not just some leveraged Nasdaq trade, right? If Bitcoin actually holds it together, if oil spikes or Nasdaq falls apart, or if Bitcoin, only goes to 60K, okay, maybe that's not the end of the world. But we're going to find out. Like, this is a good time to talk about Dana White because this literally is the main event. This is the main event. Especially if you have, like I said, Bitcoin goes through like, say, 62, bad, right? It's got to reclaim like 64, 65 before you can be like, okay. But, you're going to run into alpha intelligence day trading levels up there. I was talking to a guy today. He's like, yeah, everyone's calling him up at 66K saying it's going much higher. And he's like, no, it's not. And I saw it. I was like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Zcash is probably a juicy buy above 545, 575, something like that. You do not want to see Zcash below 522, and you do not want to see a 400 print in Zcash. I'm not really anticipating that. I'm actually kind of hoping that NASDAQ has a one-day 4% flush, and then we can hoover up crypto off that, just in case you wonder what the game plan is. However, the alpha intelligence thing will help formulate the tactical game plan. I haven't even gotten that far yet. Okay, I have not gotten that far. Okay, so I can't control myself. I have more stuff to talk about. But a lot of it's about AI. But I think we just have to get, we just have to get to it. this stuff. Again, the link is in the description down below. We don't even have a QR code yet for this thing. Eagle King not here today. Okay, so what this guy basically does in English is he uses something that's like market profile, which is this old school thing I used to keep on the back of a trading card to get a visual on where the volume and the orders are. So he looks at orders, he looks at volume, he looks at like where the volume was traded, at what price or what range was the volume traded in. He's got all these different things. That's why I needed a nap. However, these things can be used for tactical trading, like make $1,000 a day as a noob, being effectively, because I've met this guy, Trader XO, and I look at the stuff that he does. I'm like, oh my God, how do I do this? This guy showed me today, like how you can like get this thing and start being Trader XO. There's no other Trader XO, but you get what I'm saying. You like pop this open. Now with S&P, okay, hopefully, and let me see, get this for TikTok. All right. That's maybe as good as I can get it for TikTok. All right. So S&P breaks down. You have negative AI news. Where's the bid in S&P? Where's the next like shelf of big buy orders? Well, it's like 7,400, 7,300 down here. That's 3% below where market is right now. And this currently trades like total dog do. I mean, S&P is down 60 basis points. Nasdaq is already down another 1%. And I don't see anybody home in S&P. There's nobody home. Nobody. And if you start going through 7,400, I mean, like if you have like a dislocation here, it's not showing up right now. I think it's recalculating. I had 6,900. And this is like, this is 7% down. So, okay, yeah, there's a lot of support. But if you have an oil move or a Nasdaq move, this is a hiccup. This doesn't have to be the end of the world. It just has to be a margin call. We just take the margin babies and we liquidate them all. So at a minimum, S&P has 3% to the downside. That's a lot. I mean, that's a before breakfast move in Zcash, but there's nobody home in S&P until 3% down. And if it gets out of hand, it's 7%. Good luck. Good luck with that. Now, the good news in equities, this is SOX. And again, this is the alpha intelligence stuff, is that, SOX is coming into big order block support areas. Okay. That said, there are order block big volume areas above the market. So this thing, yeah, there's support, but, obviously people are selling this stuff. They're dumping it, right? Smart money dumped it up here on this final uptick, and there was more dumping today. So this thing has to rally. And if this thing can't rally, they're going to go tap down here. Because, I just saw this, and these things all have very specific meaning, hence the 3-hour nap. This does not look very good to me. It does not. It looks dangerous. It's not terrible. Now, if you look at Nasdaq, the picture is a little easier to see, right? So Nasdaq, everyone sells the rally in Nasdaq. It comes down. Okay. That's why, I don't know what's my trapdoor level in this. My trapdoor level in NQ is 28,500. Okay. So if Nasdaq, that's not that far away. And Nasdaq may be there right now. Yeah, no, Nasdaq is at 28,920 for the stream. You start tapping this stuff down below, or you lose it. Oh my God. You're going to have a Kospi. You're going to flush this whole ecosystem. You're going to flush everything. Now, unfortunately, Bitcoin is kind of caught in that, but we'll just look at Bitcoin in a minute. Okay, let's look at oil. Okay, oil. Now, I know it's busy. Oil is trapped kind of in this very tight range. But if oil goes and taps, oil, if it taps the key level where the big volume was, that's up at 90, right? That's 90. So if we continue to do this, you know, if oil went to 90, it wouldn't stay at 90. It wouldn't. Unless we start blowing up oil infrastructure, which is very unlikely because that would hose the entire Middle East. It's more likely that they just continue the fireworks show, which of course is dangerous if you're downrange of this. No disrespect. But that doesn't mean markets can't have an uh-oh moment. You have to be aware of this because, again, I think this is juicy opportunity in crypto. If Nasdaq goes down 5% or 7%, you have one of these limit down days in S&P, which can happen, right? I mean, we just established the fact that there's nobody home in S&P. And guess what? There's nobody home in gold either. Like, somebody sold gold epically at 4,500. That's got to be a Middle Eastern player trying to find dollars. They can't get dollars. I don't know. Something is wrong. It's got to be a sovereign. It's got to be somebody who's panic liquidating gold at 4,000. You got all these commentators talking about $10,000 gold. Drew pulls up his site and is like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, somebody's selling. Who knew, right? I mean, you would say, oh, the dollar debasement trade is coming back. Oh, you got to buy gold. You do. But where? Clearly gold's got to get through all this. And where's the stuff below? Where are they? I mean, there's support here. It's not the end of the world, but there's nobody home. Like, if some sovereign has to get dollars, they're going to sell gold. And this makes me think, you got all these guys on Twitter like, I'm selling my Bitcoin to buy gold. Oh, really? Well, guess what, bro? You just walked into a wall of giant institutional sellers. Congratulations. Now, Bitcoin on a 45-minute chart. Okay. Couldn't use 89 minutes. Really wanted to do that. But 45 is a good GAN number, so I'm cool with it. Okay. So Bitcoin, Bitcoin kind of went up here, and you can see, I don't want the thing to come off the screen, but, Bitcoin went up here to tap this level, this little gray level, and failed. That was the 65. And then 62 is the next level. That's kind of the trapdoor, 62.8, meaning you really don't want to see Bitcoin go down below 62. Sorry. You really don't want that. And I think there is a lot of support in the Bitcoin futures contract, like semis. So it's not the end of the world, but it might be scary if you have a 5% flush in S&P, because I think they're out of their minds and they're going to be forced to deal with the fact that everything is not perfect. They have 20 years. They have perfection priced in S&P. And oh, by the way, back to S&P, AI can disrupt anybody's business model. Anybody. Like, you can push a button and recreate something, disrupt the business models. That's not priced into S&P. S&P is priced for, I don't know what it's priced for. Some delusional future where everything is perfect. I mean, it's not 2000 because they're going to be able to monetize AI quicker. But the AI disruptive factor in regular companies and regular stocks, oh my God, they are ignoring that in favor of the peace pipe or whatever they smoke over there. That's crazy. That's crazy. But this winds up there's a huge opportunity in crypto down at 62. Right. And I gotta like let the thing load, even though it'll be a little messy. Right. But we'll let this load for a while we go to ETH. So you can see, hopefully, what is down here at 58. Oh, look at this. Okay. So for all the babies out there who are telling me about 40, good luck getting through all this. I mean, this is like every $500, there's an order block. And they're also down here at 57. So, they crack S&P. Oh my God, we could only hope to be so lucky. Because everyone's like, oh my God, if we go back below 60, it's over. Really? Are you sure? Because every big boy in the world was down here. Everybody was down here, obviously. And this is not like Joe Public stuff. This guy's tracking the big boys with like big gray histograms. And again, you can use this to trade, and that's going to be in Patreon, and we're going to be all over this. And actually, Toby likes the charts. So Toby's like, oh, look. She calls it the Lego charts. I'm sure Drew doesn't want it to call it the Lego charts, but she's like, oh, this looks like Legos. We look at the Lego charts. I can read this. I'm like, oh, excellent. We're going to have volume, order flow, and the clairvoyant at the same time. There's 800 people in Patreon. Maybe you should come back. Come back to the paid area, really. Because this they have quips, they have tweets now on Patreon. You can like tweet stuff at the followers, finally, right? You don't have to put it on Twitter and then paste links into Patreon. You can actually do it there. So, yeah. Okay, so Bitcoin might go down. You don't want it to lose 62. You get it. But, ETH is the same thing. Like, if you look at ETH, ETH's got a lot of volume. A lot of volume came in at 1,800. Hey, who knew everybody was that interested in ETH? I mean, yeah, it was a green candle. Everybody could see the green candle. But, somebody at 1,800 was like, I'm buying ETH. Like they stopped up here. There's sell orders around 2,000. But obviously somebody big came into ETH. That's got to be tokenization. That's got to be tokenization. Right? So, I mean, this whole narrative in crypto or the whole narrative in AI, it could switch. Could switch. Like we talk about this in the YouTube member area. See, the thing that is literally the freak show about this to me is that, this is very much in line with what Toby's been telling people. Like, oil might go up, it won't stay up. Crypto might go down, but it won't stay down. Well, like you can say that. And, Toby's got a lot of cred with me. Toby's got a lot of cred with our existing people. But, everyone's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, well, then guess what? Now I got the clairvoyant and I got a picture to go along with it. This picture is pretty self-explanatory, right? So, I understand there might be more damage in ETH if you have 3% down in S&P. However, you can dream the big dream that maybe they do a rotation. They rotated today in equities into consumer staples like Campbell's Soup and healthcare companies. The equities guys were like, you know what? Google couldn't get its model out. Peace out. See ya. I'm going to rotate into something else. It's a question of time before they figure out that they got to rotate into the real AI trade, which is crypto, the rails, all this stuff that we're always talking about. I mean, we have altcoin lists. I mean, we're so ready. The SpaceX, the spaceship is the coins that we got in the YouTube member area. I coin Gecko. I got like 7 portfolios of baby cap coins that everyone is ignoring because they're too busy chasing memes on Robinhood. However, Robinhood and Arbitrum did help wake up ETH. Fine. Zcash. Oh, Zcash. No. There was the diamond formation. It broke out. I don't have that right here because I think this is easier, right? Like, the first juicy buy in Zcash probably at 510. However, from the Trapdoor point of view, you do not want to see Zcash lose 500. And that's because there's all of this tap support here at like, say, 480, right? So if it falls below 500, they're going to go tap all this at 460. But however, oh my God, how juicy would that be? Right? Like, Zcash took off and you're like, wow, I missed it, whatever. Yeah, I don't think so. Like if we dare to come off, we dare to come off this and go to like a daily chart, right? Where I think I still have the diamond drawn. Unfortunately, Zcash kind of went back inside the diamond. Not the best look. Okay. Still worth it to try to buy the dip. If they give you a flush and then it comes back, these things can be very hard, and Zcash can be very hard. Bottom line is you didn't miss out in Zcash. How wonderful is it? You want some good news? How about that? You have not missed out in Zcash. You have not. As long as S&P is weak, you're going to get some time. So let's like transition now. Like what does this mean? Right? It's not about whether or not Bitcoin goes up or down. It's about judging Bitcoin as part of the AI trade. Right? So first they crack semis, then they crack Nasdaq, they start liquidating everybody in Kospi. Fine. The thing is, where does the AI money go next? Okay. Where does it go? Bitcoin is not the bubble anymore. Like everyone says, what's the bubble? Is it the Nasdaq? Is it the semiconductors? Well, I got news for you. It's not Bitcoin, and it's definitely not crypto, and it's not ETH, and it's not Zcash. It's not any of these things. Crypto is not the bubble. Don't worry about what is a bubble. Crypto is not a bubble. Okay. We're all wrecked. It's definitely not a bubble. Okay. So, did they price in 20 years of success? Right? AI can be the future, but these stocks may be terrible long-term investment, right? Because Wall Street sold, and when leaders crack and they start buying defensive stocks, institutions are not necessarily panicking. They're just relocating. They're just doing a little switcheroo. And in the past, crypto has traded like a leveraged Nasdaq stock. That's the fact, right? But if Nasdaq goes down and Bitcoin actually holds, you could have a positive psychological shift. For example, did you anticipate Google coming out and going, "Oh, we have a little bit of a problem with our model. Sorry, release coming soon." Like Google has a problem. Really? Does anybody else have a problem? No, that was a negative perception problem. And, crypto has an opportunity to actually hold up. Let's see if crypto holds up, because we showed, Bitcoin and Zcash, there's stuff underneath the market, ETH too. There's nobody home in S&P. Don't tell me there's anybody home in S&P. Believe it or not, Nasdaq and semis may hold, and the thing that may give out is S&P. Because if S&P goes up and you have an oil spike or the realization or some sort of AI disruption, oh my God, forget it. Forget it. How do they even hedge? How are hedge funds going to hedge all of this exposure that they got in semis and Nasdaq? You know what I'm saying? Like, is Bitcoin an alternative to gold? I hope so, because gold could get monkey hammered if this all goes bad, right? Or is Bitcoin competing with like Nvidia? You don't know. Like, no one's panicking in Bitcoin, right? A true decoupling would mean institutions are treating Bitcoin differently than the rest of the FOMO world. In other words, if it all goes down, but Bitcoin doesn't get, or crypto doesn't get completely destroyed, that's a signal. It's a signal worth watching a late night live stream. So you can be like, okay, well, let's check this out. And now with the alpha intelligence, it's a trading instrument, right? Which I'm going to get into. By the way, Feeble, content recession over. And Drew said it best. The best way to to follow what, I'm going to do with this thing, and Toby's going to do with this thing. It's just, the content recession is over. If you want to follow along, the link's down below. I don't think it's very expensive. I think you can try it for $7, he said. Again, it's 3-hour nap material. Okay. The uncertainty around oil could also hurt S&P. It could. And I think you want to watch, Bitcoin ETF flows to see if crypto catches any of this rotation trade. because the quiet rails, you know, stable coins are in the news. The orange man's got to get the Crypto Clarity Act done. You cannot have this grift on Truth Social and then not get the Clarity Act done. Not. I mean, it would be, I mean, they would be stupid not to do it. Now, does crypto need the Clarity Act? Yeah, probably. You know, I hate this stuff, but yeah, maybe. Maybe. So if AI is rolling over and they get the Crypto Clarity Act done, even though the window is closing, you know, I think this tokenization bus has left no matter what. I mean, people who hate crypto and hate blockchain are doing tokenized asset products. The like tokenization and stable coins, the bus has left. The perception problem, we have two idiotic perception problems. One is that the whole AI, S&P, Nasdaq, semis thing is invincible, not a bubble, never going down in our lifetime. Feel free to get levered long, go buy a car, you know, just crazy. And then you have this thing where they just completely ignore what's going on. You know, ETH is dead, you know, ETH, Solana, Bitcoin, XRP, no value proposition, no bid, nothing. Dead. Come on. In face of this news flow, like institutions, I think, are obviously buying crypto at 58K. We showed it. We showed it. You know, they bought everything at 58K. So what? They're just all going to stop out of that? No, they bought it at 58K because the whole crypto verse is, you know, more valuable than the gold verse. S&P is on the peace pipe. Privacy matters. I mean, Jesus. I mean, encrypted Bitcoin with Zcash. You know, I mean, I can look at the diamond. You know, like for example, this goes back to alpha intelligence, right? The diamond, the 50-day moving average, the 21-day moving average, the 200-day moving average. These are all useful, right? However, markets are, you know, giving false signals and making it hard to read these things. It's called alpha decay, which is why in my life, you know, every 5 to 6 years, or in crypto, because it's moving at warp speed, you got to be mindful of alpha decay. Like the stuff that I'm looking at to do big picture and small picture stuff. I mean, I got rid of DeMark. I got rid of it. I mean, it was too expensive relative to what I can get with this other guy. This other guy, you know, the link is down below. Instead of paying to see DeMark, I can just get the volume and all the trading indicators with him. And LuxAlgo works good too. I mean, I haven't abandoned LuxAlgo at all. I'm saying, you know, these things are going to mix and match. They're going to go together. This is what the premium content is going to look like. Right. Tonight, we're hooking you up because this matters, because NASDAQ could get monkey hammered. So we need to discuss this because the froth, I mean, these tweets, right? Orange Man newsletter via Truth Social. I mean, who is in charge of these things? You know what I'm saying? Like the brazen stupidity, you know, Dana White on the Meta board, $65 million salaries. I mean, I'm sure the kids deserve it. And I'm sure Zuckerberg is happy to pay it because if they lose, they're done. They're done. And this goes back to the thing about the bond market, right? Like you probably saw the thing about the bond market and I probably went through it too fast. Like, why is this happening? Like, why is the bond market like, yeah, you know what? Because, I mean, Wall Street will lend anybody. Wall Street lent money to Bitcoin treasury companies knowing that, you know, half of them were going to get nuked and they were going to just take the Bitcoin from them. So Wall Street has no problem lending money to bad value propositions. But, you know, why is Wall Street getting all wound up and charging these guys a parabolically higher interest? Because everybody's not going to win. It's like the railroads, right? If 6 companies build a railroad track between New York and Chicago, well, obviously every single railroad car, you know, you can't have 3 railroad cars on 6 tracks or 1 or 2 railroad companies using everybody's road to the same place. It didn't work. You know, you had the Goldman Sachs of the day vaporize when that thing happened. I mean, all of this capital that's been spent and lent in AI is not coming back to investors. It's not. That doesn't mean the AI thing isn't unbelievable. That doesn't mean it's not going to get monetized. It definitely means it's not 2000 because it took them 10 years. You didn't monetize the internet until the iPhone came out in 2010. It is not going to take 10 years to monetize this. However, the trade that's been done is stupid and wrong. They have left crypto by the side of the road. They have, like, priced all of these stocks. I think they're fairly priced in some cases in the chips because of the earnings. But like I said, what about this idea of AI disrupting everything? We act like AI is just like, I don't know, this like thing. It's like a building or a chip. Like, no, bro. It's Skynet. It's a program that's going to like do things and disrupt everything and everybody. And when these agents jump on crypto, which again is the entire subject of the YouTube member area, like we made a strategic decision to not go on the bear train and to spend the entire last year focusing on what happens when these machines hit crypto. And people are acting like it's not even going to happen. I mean, well, they're not acting like it's not going to happen. They're not acting like it's a thing at all. Like crypto is like invisible. Like the invisible girl came over to all of crypto and just hit us all, and nobody can see us. Nobody can see us. Like somebody like take down the Klingon cloaking device that's covering crypto, and the day everybody goes, maybe we should look at this. These portfolio managers, right? Like, you get a 3% upsy daisy in S&P. Because remember, if this goes down, markets don't bottom on a Friday or a Monday. They don't. They absolutely don't. So if they have a mess here, we'll see on Wednesday. Yeah, and the bad guys get a vote over the weekend. I mean, we love to escalate over the weekend. I don't know how we're going to do that. What happens if they escalate? And crude oil taps that whole thing that I showed at 90. I mean, it doesn't have to go up forever. It just has to go tap it. And if you start putting the pieces together here, like it's not, it may just sit here. I don't know. I mean, oil is definitely going down because they're at long term, because they're not going to attack the energy infrastructure in an election year. That would be insane. That's not happening. That would hose everybody in the Middle East. But they can still spike it, potentially. And again, how juicy would that be in Bitcoin? Like, very juicy. Like 62K was where this whole thing started from in the Bitcoin futures contract, right? And the Bitcoin futures contract, yeah, here it is, right? So in the Bitcoin futures contract, again, legacy, right? Legacy guys in the Bitcoin futures contract, they were after this like ETH. Like anybody who missed out at 58K, they were piling into this futures contract at 62. So everybody's going to look at 62 or 60 in Bitcoin and go, oh my God, the sky is falling. Oh my God, Nasdaq. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, it might be ugly. But somebody was down there at 62, and I don't think they're going to be down there. They want these futures contracts. They're either hedging shorts. Maybe Michael Saylor is covering. I mean, I was working with this guy from Alpha Intelligence today, and when he showed me what happened at 66K, I'm like, that's Saylor's team hedging. He's got a trading team, right? You hear we sold, when he talks about what strategy does, we sold. Okay, who's we? Is it Mike on his phone? Mike's like, okay, let's sell some. No, this has got to be a giant trading desk. Maybe not as giant, but maybe it's like very high powered. So they're like, yeah, we can't afford to have this thing going to 58 again, even though there's huge demand down there. That's horrible optics for them because they got to sell at the beginning of every month. That's how they're going to do it. I wish they would do something different, but that's how they're going to do it. And, maybe everyone gets hysterical, but they're going to run into a brick wall down there. They're going to run into a brick wall of buyers. So, like I said, You know, I just got done telling you that Nasdaq can tap stuff lower. So can Bitcoin. Bitcoin can scare the daylights out of everybody and go back to 61K and, you know, basically hose everybody who bought this on the way up or test all these guys who bought in here. And I'm saying, bring it on. I say, bring it on because they've all done the wrong trade. And now this is an opportunity to buy the right trade at a discount. You see how this is helping me? It's like, oh, and by the way, this is nothing that you haven't already heard from Toby. You know what I'm saying? Like the clairvoyant can't see these things. So she's already said, yeah, if it goes down, it's not going to stay down. And oh, lo and behold, there it is. And you subscribe to the member area because this woman's like picking coins. This woman found backpacks. This woman found DEXE. This stuff's going up like 800%. No one cares. There is a stealth bull market going on in crypto, and no one cares. And because of what could happen with stonks or whatever stupid stuff that they're doing, they may discount crypto again. Again, you may get like a fire sale here in crypto because of what's going on in stonks. I mean, you know, stonks went up and Bitcoin went down. Eventually, stonks are going to go sideways or find a value area lower and just sit there or range trade. While the actual AI trade, which is what our agent's going to use, stablecoins, tokenization, different forms of money. I mean, in the United States, debt to GDP ratio is 100%. The Japanese still have catastrophic problems. Everybody in Korea just got liquidated. China growth is rolling over. They're going to have to print massively. You know, the second oil goes down, Warsh is going to be sort of like more dovish. Even if you got a spike to 90, I mean, even if you tested all those sellers, maybe you don't test all those sellers. Maybe the sellers were so like massive, you don't even go up there in oil. Does anybody think of that? You know, they could scare everybody with a 90 print on Sunday night. That would really freak people out, but it's not going to stay there. It's not going to stay there. I mean, like, how are you going to get through all this at 90? How are you going to get through all this at 90 unless they start blowing up infrastructure? You're not. You're not. You're not. I mean, you know, you can if you have an event, but it's very clear that, you know, there's huge sellers up here. So, I mean, that eventually helps Warsh. So on one hand, you could tap 90. On the other hand, if they tap 90 and it fails, it's going to 40. It's going to collapse. Right. And that means Bitcoin. They're already dumping gold. So stocks are wrong. Gold's getting dumped. Where's the money going? Where's it going? Oh, into the only intelligent AI trade. Oh, yeah, that trade that's been dumped indiscriminately for 9 months. And everyone in crypto is convinced it's going lower. That's what's really unbelievable. Everybody is convinced it's going lower. So not only are they not long, but we hate it on top of it. Wait a minute. You know, like, okay, the Fourier cycle guys have been right. Their victory lap has been epic. There's no messing around with it. Crypto Princess, everybody's like crowing over Benjamin Cohen. I think Crypto Princess's work was better. She's just like, I hate it. So there. Here's my chart. But she would start with, I hate it. These guys had a victory lap, right? They had their victory lap. They deserve it. But the thing is, you know, with tokenization and stablecoins, do we have to have a catastrophic blow-off selling climax thing? Well, yeah, I guess if Nasdaq gets wrecked, but not necessarily. It doesn't have to happen if crypto can actually like hold the line, right? Like maybe this thing with Nasdaq is like a neutral grind. Right? Maybe they just like scare you and grind it down. That might allow something good to happen in crypto. But the structure of crypto, right? Like here are some consensus ideas that may get challenged. So AI is the future, right? Of course it is. But AI can be the future and the stocks can be a terrible trade. The consensus. Bitcoin follows the cycle. Okay. Kind of hard to argue. But the contrarian thing is that the ETFs right? The 24-hour liquidity, the stable coins, and the tokenization. Stable coins may wind up being like this gateway. And of course, everybody, like stablecoin transactions are spiking, but money is not coming into crypto. Stablecoin creation is falling out of bed. So you tell me who's right. They're transacting in stablecoins and everybody is negative, right? And it's like, you know, the consensus is that Bitcoin is some overvalued bubble or some overvalued thing that nobody wants. You know, what about infrastructure in crypto versus what they're pricing infrastructure in legacy? What about that trade? Has anyone thought about this? Nobody has thought about this. Like their infrastructure versus our infrastructure for the exact same fundamental idea. And you just tell me, you tell me, right? Like just like this is the power. This is the macro nerd thing, right? For me, I mean, there gonna be trading applications. The content recession is over. It's over. Over. There's nobody home in S&P, and there's everybody home in Bitcoin. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is underpriced, underappreciated. The sentiment's horrible. These guys are walking around with a lampshade on their head, buying the top indiscriminately. You know, Orange Man on Truth Social with a newsletter. Really? Really? The president of the United States. Wow, you can subscribe so you can front run the president's promotional tweets on his own portfolio. Have we seen this before? I think so. I think we saw it on meme coin on election night. And I got caught up in it because that's when antivirus came out, right? Antivirus was the next day. He called up Janice and was like, you know what? They just launched the Orange Man meme coin. We can launch the McAfee tribute. You know, I was online at the time when he launched it. I didn't even know. Classic cloak and dagger. It was unbelievable what that thing did. Right? What antivirus was doing meant more than what the Orange Man was doing. But the Orange Man made a top in crypto, sold over the top of everybody. Now he's selling Truth Social memberships after equities have rolled over. See, that's the thing that's unbelievable. Right? It's rolled over. And we're doing froth as it rolls over. I'm like, oh my God. Retail's going to buy the dip. I know they're going to buy it. They're always going to buy the dip. But it doesn't bottom on a Friday or a Monday if it gets out of hand. Because hedge funds can say, you know what? It's July 16th. I'm going to the beach. I'm done. I'm done for the year. I don't need this. I don't need any aggravation. I'm going to the beach. I made money. We were long. See ya. Like, you know, if you go back to semis, right? Go back to semis. And find the guys going to the beach. Here they are going to the beach down here. They're just like, yeah, you know, it's like some guys sold the uptick. They were like, I'm done. This is probably hedging, selling. SOX is an option index. So if they're using SOX up here, they're hedging. Here, they may just be hedging or they may just be like, peace out. I'm done. Now, there's a lot of support here, but yeah, you guys can trade the support while I'm at the beach. I made my year. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm done. This is a real thing. Nobody works in London. Nobody works in Europe in the summer, right? I mean, it's, you know, it's probably over in Europe now. It's paella for Team Spain for the World Cup on Sunday, and then that's it. They're off at the beach. They may watch the game at the beach. They're done. So where is the liquidity going to come from when everyone's at the beach if this gets messy? There's a fire sale in crypto if that's what happens. If not, well, maybe it's just a range and, you know, everybody gets, you know, Bitcoin goes to 62K. Who cares? Bitcoin's been in this range for Bitcoin has been between 60 and 70 for 300 days. Why do you think there's no, like, you know, like the pepper part of the beard is going away? Because of this range. You know what I'm saying? You know, like yesterday, I thought I was out of my mind. I thought the channel was going to close down. I poured out my heart about these bear markets. Then I saw this, and then I talked to this guy. I was like, well, the content recession is over, and the crypto recession may be over. Because again, everyone has done the absolute stupid wrong trade. And I got visuals to prove it. Thank you, Drew. By the way, the link is down below. You know, like, I understand you're wrecked. You don't want to do it. I'm telling you right now, you have to do it, because this is not only, this is the big picture, right? This is not even what he showed me. This is not what he showed me. This is like, I made this up after my 3-hour nap. The way this works is like, this thing will rally into one of these volume areas that, there's like 3 or 4 different names for it. We're all going to have to get our encyclopedia out and study. But the bottom line is, you have a candlestick. You have a certain kind of candlestick at a certain type of volume area where the orders were, and all of a sudden you have a trading signal, and and all of a sudden you're picking up $1,000 a day. You don't have to quit your day job to do it. Thing beeps. It goes to a volume area. You look at it, you do the trade, you cover at the next level, and that's it. This guy sits in his garage with a cigar in like a lounge. This is what he does. It's not George Soros. It's not some giant thing. It's just some guy who figured out that people can't quit their jobs to become Trader XO. Because what Trader XO does, that's a full-time job. The guy was an analyst. The guy was, he was at Wall Street. The guy knows programming. The guy knows trading. He keeps a trading diary. Oh my God. The guy's a total genius. He has like 400,000 followers on Twitter. He can do a live stream like once a month. He's got people calling him, oh my God, please make a paid group. Please do this. Please do that. He's like, I don't know what he does, but the guy's such a genius. He doesn't have to do it. He's like a student of the market. And then all of a sudden I got some guy that's showing me effectively Trader XO in a box. Open this up, start using it. You can, Trader XO psychologically is the best, probably one of the best ever, right? But you can play with similar math, similar setups, like the stuff that Trader XO studies and draws. This guy figured it out with institutional level volume. It's very similar. I used to work with a guy named, I don't know, his Twitter handle is Horn Hairs. Noah, I think is his name. Oh my God. Forget about it. Just forget about it. He was one of these guys that could like draw these horizontal levels and figure out like which one mattered. You have to quit your day job to figure these things out. Not anymore. Okay, we have Yav here. Thomas Chai, what's up? Bull Runner is, of course, here. Just reminding you that if you like all this unbelievable free content that comes out 4 to 5 days a week, perhaps you could hit the like button. Matter of fact, tonight, I demand you hit the like button. Seriously, hit it. Gary DeHolder, a member, all our loyal guys, GF, David, Odd Dark, right? Banging away with those emojis, the Spartan Colonels, Quantum Bitcoin. Drew Wolfer is here. Who's that? Felix, what's going on? Shelly, the one-woman hedge fund. Shizzy is back. Crypto X is back with the new X algo update. Right on. Right on. Joseph is here. DNT Saver. What's going on? Crypto Crazy. Good to see everybody. I know you guys like these night streams. I like these night streams too. Had to get that 3-hour nap after Alpha Intelligence. Convenient, right? Grandpa Keeter. Early access to the Orange Man True Social account. What do you think the price tag is going to be? Okay, so just let me just clarify something. Like if I talk about the Orange Man, that's like a neutral term. I think it's funny. It's like that's what he used to be called. So I don't. People think that I'm hating on him. That's not true at all. It's just I'm keeping it neutral. Now I don't know what the price is going to be. I don't even know if they're going to be able to get away with that. I'm saying I don't know. I don't know what the price is going to be, but I know the super fans are going to buy it. I mean, we all followed Nancy Pelosi. It's really Nancy Pelosi invented this. The Orange Man's just taking it to another level, right? I mean, Nancy Pelosi knew that her hedge fund was being followed by everybody on Twitter, and she was massively popular because of it. Like the Orange Man is going to miss out on an opportunity to be massively popular in a parabolic stock market? Of course not. The Orange Man is a businessman. He's a businessman, for God's sakes. So I don't know what they're going to charge for it, but, if it's, if it's a blowout or if it's a sellout or there's a gazillion, it makes $1 billion doing it, then it could be the meme coin sequel over there in their sandbox, right? That could be, the stock market's turd in the punch bowl, like the meme coin was for us, where it's like the guy just came in over the top and goes, "Oh wow, willing buyers. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Everybody pay $9.99. You have the whole world paying $9.99 to find out what he knows. I don't know, man. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Toby was telling me some story today about some lady does a video on how to do stuff on Instagram, and people on Instagram make videos and everyone in the community likes it. And the community was so big, everybody's videos took off. And now the courses she makes, every time she releases a video, she makes like $2 million. The Orange Man is not, the people who run the Orange Man's organization are not unaware of this math. So please, nobody think that I'm hating on this guy. I'm not. I'm not a big fan of certain things, but whatever. The guy's making money. Would you make money if you could make money in a relatively honest way? Or you thought you were giving people alpha? I mean, the guy is allowed to buy a stock and then promote it. That's the oldest trick in the book, by the way. That's like old school Wall Street. What do you think Wall Street used to do when it had proprietary trading? Well, they would get together with research, and research would be like, yeah, we like this stock. Or the trading desk would go, why don't you look at this stock? We like it. Or this whatever, this macro trade, whatever, right? So, Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, all the hedge funds would load the boat, and then come out with research or hit CNBC. The salespeople would promote the trade. How do you think they made all this money in the 90s? These proprietary trading. That's what created me. I did like tactical TA with Market Profile, with CQG and DeMark for these units, right? I mean, again, it's the oldest trick in the book. We did it after, Goldman did it after 2009, I think, with China, right? They just bought everything after 2008. And then I think our chief economist came out and their number one trade for 2009 was buy China. And then China's GDP was like 8% and their stock market went parabolic because, Lehman had nothing to do with internal Chinese growth. So this is the oldest trick in the book. This is old school Wall Street. Now, it looks a little funny and I don't really like it. I think it's very toppy because, like I said, I put all these tweets together, but, rock on, bro. Right? Yav likes the content tonight. Richard Barry. Hopefully he's getting some sleep. John Legend is here from the Princess universe. Oh my God. Grandpa Keeter says payment in Trump coin. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you had to buy the stock grift service with the meme coin grift coin? This is why the guy's a billionaire. I mean, let's face it. Let's face facts. He's a billionaire. He's like a billionaire multiple times over, right? He's the president of the United States. His wife is a supermodel. These are objective facts, right? This is zero judgment. Either way, you love him, hate him. People get very edgy when I talk about this, but it's a fact. The guy makes money as a businessman. He's the president and his wife's a supermodel. I mean, if that was your life, how would you think? How would you be doing? You'd be doing okay. And we hope to get you there. We are trying. We will. There's no try. We will get you there. Patreon comeback incoming. YouTube, don't call it a comeback. She's been here for years, literally. And Patreon leverages this whole ecosystem we have. And now we have this alpha intelligence thing. Oh my God, forget about it. Absolutely forget about it. Because now we can do macro like we did tonight. And if everyone gets the thing, we can do like tactical stuff. Like the tactical stuff is the most important. Like, for example, if you don't know what the big picture is, if the big picture is muddled, but you still have volatility, like the guys who are making money in these markets, like, Blockchain Crusader, I think, is doing very well. Super smart guy, right? These discords where everybody is day trading is where it's at until the trend develops. And who knows how long that takes. And even if the trend does develop, maybe it's wild in the beginning. It might be, right? After all this boredom inside 60 to 70 between this year and last year, or 2024 and this year, well, when Bitcoin goes Zcash, or when everything goes Zcash, we're so ready, man. I was like, and of course I made the low because I was like, oh my God, the sky is falling last night. Somebody asked me 2 shows ago what the worst bear market was. It's not even close. It's this one. Okay. But even if it is a bear market, you know, this guy is showing you like, hey, you know, if something upticks in a bear market and you're running into institutional order flow and there's a bad candlestick, you know, you can make $1,200 doing the trade without having to quit your job to draw the lines. That sounds good to me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the market update, the late night market update. Hopefully, we're going to get discount shopping in crypto. We will see you soon.